How you guys doing?
Doing
Bryan,
great.
Jose. Nice to see you.
I'm good, man.
Funny seeing you here at the Level Up Lab
I love being here.
in
You
Kansas
kidding
City.
me?
Yeah, it's great. We're just making some videos a little bit ago, right?
Winter, it's cold outside, but we get to come film videos here at the Level Up Lab, share our knowledge, and get the putt, throw into the net. It's a great
home away from home at this point.
Absolutely.
This is one of the first installments of what I'd like to call the Coach's Corner, where we just chat about disc golf and we have a good time. We share some knowledge and talk disc golf, and there's a couple things that are actually happening. It's pretty sweet coming up with Seeker that I'd like to share.
Yes, there is.
Right? A lot of good stuff that this might be a great opportunity for. For those who don't know these two wonderful gentlemen, I've been running this channel for a while. I want to introduce you to them. First is Jose Osa, fantastic disc golfer, been playing disc golf for over 29 years. And for those counting, that's older than me. Has won significant tournaments and just is a wealth of knowledge. Bryan Hahn is one of my good friends. He's in the training and physical fitness and the mobility. He's much like Seth Muncie. We actually just interviewed him a little bit ago from Disc Golf Strong. And you're a beast. You can throw really far as well.
Sometimes.
Well, you can. I've seen you throw over 500 feet. So you're a beast in your own category. So that's it. What am I missing? What should people know about you guys?
I'm Colombian born. I was born and raised in Colombia, South America. I didn't start playing disc golf there, but there is disc golf in Colombia, and I want to give a shout out to the Colombian disc golf. I know they have two courses in Medellin that I'm very happy they have going. There is so much excitement down there, and I would love to raise awareness because it's one of the things down there. It's very difficult for them to get discs. It's very expensive. They can't just go like to the store and pick up some $8-10 disc. There's import fees and it's very expensive. So one of the things I want to get going, and they have done in the past, they have groups that have picked up discs that are like, they found in a ditch or they're not going to use anymore and stuff like that. And clubs have packaged them and sent them down to Colombia, and these guys have access to them. So
something we should be doing.
Yes, awesome. Absolutely. It would be great. It's something that I definitely want to do. I've spoken to some people, and I'd love to be able to send a care package over there to them, so they can have access to plastic. So that would be a great thing.
In this video, we'll link below in the description a place or an area you can, if you'd like, send your discs. How about that?
That would be awesome. Love it. And they would appreciate that very much too. Colombia, the topography over there is incredible. Once disc golf gets going over there, the courses that you're going to see are going to be spectacular. So I'm really excited about that. Started playing disc golf 30 years ago, just having a good time with some friends, and little by little they kind of faded away, but I stuck with it. I just love this game, love this sport. Once I found out there's leagues and tournaments, I'm so competitive, just forget about it. I've been hooked ever since.
Bryan, what about you, man?
Yeah, I think, just a huge background in physical fitness, swimming career, and now into distance running. Physical fitness has always just been a huge part of my life. And then when my in-laws got me that Discraft starter set a couple of years ago, it was another element of, hey, this is something you can try to train and achieve and learn. And so disc golf has kind of been this incredible step to it's another skill you want to acquire, and when you throw that good shot, there's nothing quite like it. And then when you throw that bad shot, there's nothing quite like that either. So you always just want to be progressing. I think that's what I love about disc golf and physical fitness is you can always be working. You can be out there grinding all the time, and that kind of mindset of always kind of growing, training. I just love that. So exciting stuff. And
You were a collegiate swimmer. Talk to me about that.
yeah, so swam for probably 16 years from when I was young all the way through college. So yeah, swam for Eastern Michigan for a year. Went up there up north. They had a fantastic program, and then kind of missed home. Came back to William Jewell and swam with them for a few years, and just spent a lot of time kind of mentally training. I mean, you're spending 20 hours a week exercising, and so it just became just a part of me. And so once that was done, it was kind of like, what's the next thing I can focus on? And just learning how to be a better athlete, just an all-around athlete, and then the sport of disc golf kind of came in. Those two things just kind of took over, and it's kind of the focus for the last few years. So.
How do you think that translated from a collegiate sport, swimming? I mean, there's other people I've met who have played baseball, and how does that translate for you over from one sport to the other?
Yeah, I think just like with that one sport, kind of the dedication, the time put in, that's something that can translate to a lot of different things, to general work life, to sports, other sports, just being in that competitive environment for a significant amount of time every day, translates really well into disc golf. Like, okay, a 1 to 2 hour session of putting, driving, we would do that a couple times a day in swimming. So a session or two for disc golf doesn't seem like too big of an ask. And then the second part being, with swimming is an incredibly repetitive motion. And so, you're in a pool, you're staring at a black line for 2-3 hours at a time, doing the same motion over and over and over again. I mean, that's the goal with disc golf, right? You want to be able to have a repeatable action that you can go out and say, I know I'm going to be able to throw this shot because I've practiced it so many times. You can kind of shut your brain off and execute because you've practiced it so much. So I think that really translates well into disc golf, and okay, I've done this motion a ton. I'm just going to trust my skills and let that happen out there. So,
heck yeah, I love that. So I call this the Coach's Corner because we actually have an announcement to share, and that will be at the very end of this, so make sure you stay tuned. Got a couple announcements that I'd like to share with the world. Let's do the status of what's going on. What do we see out there in the disc golf community, right? We've just finished the 2022 season. Pretty epic. What has been the most notable 2022 event? And that might be a hard thing, and as you think about it, I'll come out with it first, and I might have steal one of yours. But the most notable event thing that happened was Paul McBeth winning Worlds again. That clutch shot on hole 17. Not only that, but you've watched the Worlds, right? We were there, Bryan and I were there. We live in Kansas City, so it was only a 2-hour drive. The fact that Paul was injured, literally having cramps, left arm was hurting. You could actually see it significantly in his form. I just can't, I might get hate for that, but I can't get over how good that was.
yeah.
It just shows that never give up mentality. Like, I gotta find a way to get it done. I'm gonna do it. That's what he is. It's just
it's
consummate professional.
Unfathomable. And the stat that for the last 10 years, Paul McBeth has not finished lower than second place.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
At Worlds.
That's ridiculous.
I just pulled my hair out. So that was mine. What was the most notable thing? I know you're buddies with Gannon. We both are.
Yeah,
he just won the USDGC.
The USDGC win was huge.
Yeah.
That was what an exciting tournament. This is
Gannon's caddy, by the way, one of many caddies, but
one of the few. Yeah,
you've flown and driven to be with events with him.
Yeah, that USDGC win was incredible. To be coming down to the wire, going back and forth that final round with Nicolas. To pull it off in the end, to make that clutch putt on 17, just like Paul. He was 65 feet away from the basket, 70 feet away from the basket on an island hole, and drains it to take a one-shot lead. Oh man, talk about ice in the veins.
He must have been so proud.
I was so nervous. I'm so glad I would not have made that putt. No, I was not following any mental putting tips and tricks from Jose. I would have been just shaking. That's a clutch gene to come in right there and to make that putt and then to execute on a tough 18 to finish it off. Oh man, it was chills. It was awesome to watch. So.
Yeah. What about you, Jose?
For me, it would have to be Masters Worlds. I went and competed over there, and a friend of mine, Joe Revere, won it. And I met him, we were warming up, practicing for a round, and I said, Joe, this is your year, man. This is your year. And, he laughed it off. He's like, do my best. And then we started, and he was doing well. And we were done one day. We were at, it was in Peoria. It wasn't Northwood Black. It was Eureka Temp. And he had not had a very good round. I stayed over and I was practicing, and then as I was leaving, I could still see him yelling at himself across the pond. He was working by himself. He was really upset at his performance that day. He was really beating himself up, and he just stayed extra. Fast forward, he's in the final round. I'm watching him, I'm following him on Northwood Black. It's him, Johnny McRae, Patrick Brown, and I can't remember the other guy's name. He was the first time I'd ever seen him play, and what a talent that guy was. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. But Joe won it, and it was great to see that. So that was an amazing moment. That's my top moment for 2022. And gave him a bear hug, and he said, Jose, you called it, it was my year. So it was great to share that experience with him there.
Heck yeah.
I also want to say Paul's win at Worlds was incredible, Gannon's win, but the season that Kristen Tatar had, absolute dominance. To not be outside of the top three for like the last, I don't even know, half of the season, incredible. Just that to me, absolute top of the sport. Incredible.
And it's amazing to me that you can live in a place where it snows so much in the wintertime.
I was just going to say that.
If it's sub 40, I'm struggling.
Flaming.
Yeah.
Like you're literally on fire.
Yeah, it was just an incredible performance the whole season for her. So, yeah, it was awesome to watch.
So the 2022 season has left, seen some notable moments, but we're also coaches. That's what we do, right? We are coaches for Seeker Disc Golf, and our really purpose is to help each disc golfer level up no matter what level they are. That's what the Seeker training app is, and I'm very happy to share that Seeker Disc Golf is the #1 disc golf training app out there. We have hundreds of players, advanced, beginner, intermediate, and we're really seeing a difference, right? We actually launched just a couple months ago, and the Seeker Disc Golf app is really foundational based on how I train, but then since bringing you two in, it's been even better, and the pros, and we translate what the pros say into a very formulaic framework, right? Very scientific, if you will. Empirical data. What have we seen this season that really makes us say, we still have work to do? Because our goal is to help 10,000 disc golfers by the year 2025. 10,000. That's a big stance, right? That's a big goal. What have we seen that's good and bad with our students and just disc golfers we play in general? I've really seen a lack. Well, actually, two things. I'm gonna cheat. One is on the form. A lot of players still cannot hit the power pocket. I would actually say this is guessing 75% of disc golfers I see, even if they've been playing for 3 years, still do not accurately hit the power pocket.
Wow.
That's from my maybe subjective collection of data. My students, because you can go to Seeker Disc Golf right now and book an online lesson, or if you're in Kansas City, we're here for you. You can come right here in the Level Up Lab. And then those who I've seen in tournaments, they just don't hit the power pocket. The second thing, and I actually want to discuss this, is when I went to Worlds, disc golfers complain all the time. It's a pandemic. And as a coach, I hate to see that. As someone that wants to see the sport grow, it's really saddening to see the complainers out there. It's not just at the amateur level. It is saturated at the pro level. I won't name names, but on hole 18, when when Paul Macbeth and Aaron were at the playoff, right? There was so much complaining from the pros sitting right next to him saying, oh, this sucks. This is terrible. Like, why do they do this? Why is it hole 16? Like, they were just complaining and everybody was listening. It was really sad to see. So those are my two. A lot of people just don't hit the power pocket, amateurs, and then there's a pandemic of complaining. And I don't think it's helping anyone. It's not helping the sport. It's not what Seeker is about. It's not what disc golf should be about.
Right. No, and it's a shame. I think if what was it I heard? If you are voicing a displeasure on something, but not bringing forth a solution or an idea to correct it, then you're just complaining. You're just, yeah. But if you are, if you're bringing a solution, then that's constructive feedback. Yeah. That's constructive criticism. Yeah, probably not bringing that in. It's disappointing as far as what I've seen is, we still have a lot of work to do, is the lack of touch and ability in the short game. And this is in the open division too, where everybody should have a very fine-tuned approach game. It's not that great. It's boy, I would give it like B-. It's pretty bad. Then when you bring it back to the amateurs, what do they want? They want more distance. I'm talking about like 98% of the guys that I train. So how can I help you? What I want to throw farther. I want to throw farther. I want to throw farther. And that's cool. I mean, we all want to throw farther. It's very useful. But we really want to switch our mindset. We want to we want to change our ego to be more into, hey, I want to be a darn good short game player and putter. Because that's where tournaments are won. That's where it is. Look at all the scrambling stats. What does that tell you? The guys that have the best scrambling stats are winning tournaments and they're always at the top. Ricky Wysocki, number one scrambler. And what does it require? A really excellent short game. So that's where I would like to see people go towards, is developing the game from the short out, not from the out in. And hey, I did it too. I got tired of missing so many putts. I mean, I was getting all this distance and bombing it and all that, but then I wasn't getting up and down. If you're not getting up and down, you're not doing anything.
So the crazy thing, to your point, is we did a level up disc golf clinic. Phase 1, we did the instructions. Phase 2, we did a little challenge where, and we had a lot of intermediates actually, 2 advanced and a couple of beginners. 150 feet out, no one could make it inside a 40-foot circle.
It was pretty
aggressively disappointing.
I was
to your point.
So
distance, but they can't get 150 feet.
Correct. No, I was stationed. I was manning one station, so I didn't get to see the other stations.
Yeah.
But on my station, it was woeful. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, to your point. So it's just out there. What about you, Bryan?
I think one thing that I've seen kind of grow even in the past few years in disc golf is kind of as I was talking to Seth about it, is the importance of physical fitness in disc golf. It's growing, but I think there still needs to be that entire culture shift of, we're athletes. This is absolutely a game that can be recreational and you can make it as serious as you want it, but if you're going out and you're picking up a disc and you're trying to throw it, you're an athlete and you need to treat your body like so. So I think seeing it at Pro Tour events, at regular tournaments having these physical fitness stations where people can warm up appropriately, warm down appropriately, and start treating their bodies correctly. Because, I mean, if you think about the physical mechanics of a disc golf throw, you're putting a lot of stress on a lot of parts of your body. And so I still think we have a ways to go to shift the paradigm of disc golf of we are all athletes in this sport. We need to treat our bodies correctly so we can, be out there safely and play for as long as we can.
How many people would you say out there in the field actually, and this is very simple, warm up before they play? Casual round or tournament?
In general?
If you're just a blanket statement based on your empirical data that you've captured.
If I would say warm up correctly, like
just warm up at all.
Warm up at all, maybe 5%. Like, usually it's out of the car, you do a couple rotations, hey, we're good to go. Let's do 2 off the tee so we can throw one, warm up, and then throw the next one. The whole 2 off the tee thing, like, maybe if we warmed up properly, we could just throw 1 off the tee. But instead, we got to throw that first one and then be like, ooh, like that hurt my back, my shoulder, it did not go where I thought it would go. Let's throw 2 off the tee because, I just got out of my car 5 minutes ago. So, I mean, even even at a Pro Tour event, sometimes I'll see the tent over for the pros to warm up, use all the equipment, standing there, and it's empty. And it's like, you guys are professional athletes. Like, let's warm up correctly so you're playing an event every week, every other week. You really have to take care of your body. So it's better than it was, but it's got a lot more places to go. So that's what I think the biggest need. It has
become more of a priority.
Absolutely.
And that's what Seeker is here to change with Seth Muncie from Disc Golf Strong. You interviewed him. We're going to pop up the interview on Seeker Disc Golf, the training app. So head to seekerdiscgolf.com, subscribe. We've got hundreds of players on there if you want to see that pro level interview. We've got many more, Gannon Bird, Joel Freeman, lots of other goodies. I'm really still impressed with 2022, though there's some negatives, but what are some positives that we've seen over this last year as coaches? What have we seen that really encourages us? I'll start and I'll steal the easy one.
Oh, you're going to steal it from me. Let's see if you take it.
Well, I'll steal the easy one. The growth. As coaches, as a coach, as a human, I love to see our sport grow. There comes challenges, but just the overwhelming, and we podcasts and many people have talked about this, the influx of just people playing. I love going out there and seeing families. I love it. It actually makes me cry a little bit, to be honest, because it's such a warming sight to see, right? Whether it be a dad with their son, maybe it's a mom with their daughter, maybe it's 2 parents, maybe it's just a new young couple or dating couple, or, matter of fact, an influx of older people. I've seen 80-year-olds out there, and I absolutely love it.
Yesterday, when we were doing some filming, there were some kids that were watching everybody compete. And
at the filming, at the Rock KC.
Absolutely. At the
ROKC.
ROKC.
Olathe, by the way.
Olathe.
Good friend Andrew. Make sure if you're in Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas. Well, it's actually Kansas City, Kansas.
Both, yeah.
It's both. But we've got a modern multi-million-dollar facility there.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah. Rock climbing. He's a big disc golfer.
So y'all went off and you were doing the throwing competition. You were with the students. And the 2 little kids must have been like maybe 5 and 7, if they were that old. I'm like, are they going to come back around? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm organizing something over here. It's like, oh. It's like, do you want to throw some discs? Like, follow me. I said, Dad, is it okay? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Follow me. So I walked in there. We took him to where the net was, and I handed him some discs. I was like, throw it to that net. And he went sidearm. He's like, and then the other kid came in, and I just let them to themselves. So we have 2 new disc golf fans.
All right. I didn't even know that happened. That's great.
Yeah, well, you were busy, and I'm sharing it with you. I forgot to tell you
that's
about
awesome.
that, but Dad was very happy, too. He's like, all right, cool. One thing that I really enjoy about 2022 and with all our students, what we've been doing with Seeker is the desire to learn, the desire to get better, because they know these guys, they've been trying, and they've been doing it on their own, and they've been going to YouTube, and they've been doing this, and it's just like, do this, or don't do this, and they're just, I don't know what to listen to. I don't know what's going on. And all I know is that I'm not getting better, and they want to get better, and I'm loving that. Just seeking that help, and we're here to provide it, and they're just soaking it in. And whenever they get that aha moment, whenever they figure a shot out, whenever you teach them something, and it just manifests in the way they were dreaming it, that's so rewarding, and I love it. Just that's what I've loved most about 2022.
See, I think what I would say I love most about 2022, I think that the Pro Tour, like, it's growing. You know, we've got some incredible talent out there, and it's cool to see like that kind of community. But this year, to really start getting plugged in with like the Kansas City community, I mean, or like to go up, you know, into the Des Moines Challenge, like the Des Moines community, or going to Emporia, like seeing all these different cities that they're just rallying around disc golf. It is becoming such a pivotal part of their city. I mean, well, we were talking to a local business person in Emporia. They said that the week of DDO brought in like $4 or $5 million to local restaurants.
Yeah.
Like just that week.
Yeah.
I mean,
Disc golf has transformed Emporia.
so it's really cool for me to see the global outreach of disc golf and like the Pro Tour. You know, you see all these people on the network and YouTube, but then to step it back into the local communities, it's incredible to see how disc golf can move and just be a sport, like you were saying. Any age can play, families. I mean, it's just incredible to see.
That's awesome. There's been so many incredible events of 2022, and I can't wait for 2023. So talk to me about what you guys have learned this last year as well. As coaches, how have we bettered ourselves? Part of Seeker's mission is to seek to level up our own game and to seek to level up other people's games. There's two components. How have you guys gotten better? How have we as coaches gotten better to teach, to learn, to educate, to help grow the sport?
My mental game has
You
absolutely
took my answer.
Yeah, sorry. No, the mental game is completely different.
Yeah.
I am such a different player than I was in 2021 and before, where all my efforts were into the physical skill side and stuff like that, but I'd never cultivated, I never looked to level up the mental side. I knew about it, but I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't practice it. And the mental game is not something you read in the book. It's like, oh, cool. If you don't use it, you're not going to learn it. So you have to practice it. Practice, practice, practice. In practicing that, in living it, in breathing it, I am able to teach it now. So that's the big one.
What book have you been reading? You've been diving deep into golf.
Goodness.
And the mental side of golf, which is ball golf, yes, I know that's what we call it, right? But it's changed the way you've thought and the way you play.
Absolutely. No, and there's so many books that I've read. There's of course Dr. Bob Rotella. Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. I highly recommend that one. And then the follow-up to that book is Your 15th Club. And just anything that he writes is, I mean, I don't agree with everything the man says, but wow, he's my guru. He's just golden. Then we have the Foundations of Golf by John Sherman. We have, Dr. Joseph Parent. There's so many books that I've been reading lately where you just gain so much knowledge as far as the mental game. And yes, there has all been golf, because you don't have that. You don't have them in disc golf, and golf has been around, and industry has been around for so long. There's so much that has already been written, and of course I gravitate to the mental side of the game, because the physical side is a very different game. You can compare stats and stuff like that. You can extrapolate some that will make sense to disc golf, but not all of it. Putting in golf is way harder So you have to kind of make some adjustments whenever you're reading about stats and whenever you're reading about what your priorities are on the course. You got to change it up a little bit, but that's been a lot of fun because it makes you think. Every time I read something, I like, how does that apply to disc golf? It's been a journey. Been amazing.
Who's the best pro disc golfer that has the best mental game right now?
Okay.
Who's the top? Who's the one that we need to be looking at?
You know, I don't know much about the open guys as far as their mental game. If I had to just looking at it from what I see on TV, I would have to say Paul McBeth has an extremely good mental game. But of the people that I do know, that I talk to, that I speak with and pick their brains, he's an MP40 player. His name is Dutch Napier. He's from Kentucky. This man has an amazing mental game. It's an incredible mental game. So to me, he's got the strongest mental game of people that I know apply it.
Who's the worst pro player with the mental game?
Oh, so there's I definitely I don't want to go that route. I think no. I'm not going to go there. I'm not
Start a war in the comment section. There you go. There.
There's so many things to the mental game as far as your.
I think we can all just make our own assumptions about what we've seen online.
There's some very good players that I like a lot
that just need work.
Definitely benefit on the mental side of things because I've just noticed certain things like. Yeah, that's why he's doing that. If he knew about this and he practiced it, it would be so much better.
We seeker disc golfers and any student that we teach, we're people of high character, so we won't knock on anybody. While you think about yours, I'll say mine. Man, I'm really excited and really proud of my game. I feel like I finally made it. As far as like you've seen me develop even in the short time that we've known each other, but I went through the journey of like starting out in 1 year's time to be very bad, arms flailing around everywhere, and in 1 year leveling up my game just completely by interviewing the pros. I paid a lot of money out of my own pocket to train them to train me. I spent hours here before this was even a studio, and so I'm really excited about my game and what I've done. I feel like I finally made it, and now all I have to do is I've stayed around 9 to 930 rated cumulative average. I've had 960 rated rounds. I just feel like this next year is going to be that for me. Just
it is.
Whoop.
I know it's
like it. So I feel really good about that. You feel really good about your mental game. What about you, Bryan?
Oof. I would say probably like the first thing is something finally clicked this year in watching some of the secret videos on that double move. Like in my game this year, it transformed.
Shout out Coach T.
Yeah.
He's the one who coined the double move. We teach it here on the Seeker method. Make sure you get the app.
Just that motion of just firing my arm, like that side of my body. I mean, it's taken me to that next tier of distance. And it was just this one moment of like, this is how you throw a disc effectively. Like this, and so I feel like I'm at that point, like right before where you're at, where it's like, okay, I still have some learning to do. I still have some growth before I can start, like the chips start to fall in tournaments and rated rounds and things like that. But then the mental game as well, just spending time around the pros and watching tournaments and just the sheer impact of it in the game. I mean, it really took me this year. It was like, you hear the stat like, the phrase, it's 90% mental and 10% physical. And a lot of what people seem to focus on is that 10%, and they're missing out on such a huge portion of the game. I mean, that really became apparent to me in like disc golf this year of how important it is to, be able to have a strong mental game and to practice it regularly. So when you go out there, it's a normal action. It's nothing new. It's not something that it surprises you at any time. You can just say, hey, I've done this 1,000 times. I've worked on this. And so when you're out there, you're just on autopilot. So
I love it. I have absolutely seen lots of improvement with you in the double move. So as we end 2022, and we look forward to 2023 with the RN games, and as coaches, what are we excited for Seeker? What are we excited for this next year as coaches, specifically within Seeker? Our mission, 10,000 disc golf players helped by 2025. Got 2 years. What are you guys looking for being a part of the team? And now we've officially added you guys to the program. This is Coach's Corner Installment 1. What are we looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to certifying coaches and getting that program up and running, and having coaches across the country teaching people one-on-one, giving clinics, being able to branch out to reach the people that are physically too far away for us to go personally in touch. Now we have a representative, a Seeker certified coach that's going to help everybody grow around the nation, around the world.
I'm honestly really excited for the physical fitness side of it. I mean, that stuff that keeps me up at night. Like I'm really excited to be able to say, like, if you're working on form, if you're working on those things, like that's fantastic. But form can only get you so far. I mean, if you can't physically twist your body very far, you're not going to be able to generate a lot of power. So to add in that physical side of things and that extra step for our students of, your body can only do what your body can only do. So if we can get you that extra ounce, that extra, twist of rotation, or, people out bad knees, hips, ankles, how can we make sure they're stable, work on, treat ourselves as athletes. And I'm just really excited to add that level to Seeker, to bring that in so that we can help people just level up their game a little bit more.
Love that. I am very, 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 very excited because the three of us are going to be a part of a DGN series called Level Up Lab coming 2023. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, we've worked with Jamie over there at Disc Golf Network, and it's going to be called Level Up Lab coming 2023. We're your coaches. So I thought it would be nice to start the first installment off of this podcast and this show, the Coach's Corner, to say, we're coming to you. So we've got 4 students that are taking their journey through the Seeker level up method. The Seeker method is what we call it, which is in the app. You can get it right now if you want. Go to seekerdiscgolf.com, 60-day challenge. They're going through that. They're documenting that process of start to finish. We've got different individuals. Tell us real quick about the 4 individuals. Who do we have?
Okay.
Where are they at?
We have Justin. We have Matt. We have Danielle. We have Jessa. Different skill sets, different time of play, different goals. And we started them with a benchmark. Where are you now? And then we've had them go through the Seeker method, and the progress I'm seeing is so exciting.
It's going to be awesome.
We've got Jess, who's a new player. Totally new player out there. We've got Danielle, she's been playing just a little bit longer. Matt, who's playing way longer, and Justin, who's younger and more plays a ton of tournaments. So we've got so many different people.
Different backgrounds,
layers,
skill levels,
stories.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I can't wait for everybody to see it. We're still filming, and we're almost done. Lots of great events coming through. Gosh, and you've been training them up in the physical fitness and the mobility, and we're adding that to the Seeker app, and we just can't wait. Well, it's been exciting to chat with you guys here today. For the Level Up Lab, why don't you guys go ahead and watch the trailer for the Level Up Lab coming February 2023. Let's watch it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Welcome to the Level Up Lab, a mini disc golf training facility. 4 students are getting ready to embark on their disc golf journey to level up their game and become true athletes. Justin.
I'm definitely the type of person who wants to beat former me. I want to be better than what I was before.
Jessa.
So I've never done 18 holes. I can't tell you off the bat what par means or what birdie means. Complete blank slate right here for me.
Danielle.
Really what drove me to really start playing is my husband ended up getting cancer. Once he had his last treatment, I was like, all right, what are we gonna do to get him motivated? I realized then that that was the way to get them to get up and do things and get exercise.
And Matt.
I'm 49 years old. One of the things I love about disc golf, you can get out and play with friends, but you can also get out and play by yourself. You're getting out in nature, getting some exercise, de-stressing.
These 4 students will go through a rigorous 60-day disc golf training program and workout routine put together by 3 Seeker disc golf coaches. David, the former View coach. Jose, the fieldwork and drills coach. And Bryan, the strength and mobility coach. Can these students level up their game in a short amount of time? Do they have what it takes to stay disciplined? Find out on the Level Up Lab.